So Doctor Who, I think it's safe to say now, is very old. Like, seriously, it is genuinely old. It's coming up on 60 years, and for a TV show, that's actually pretty good. And because at this point the show is at a relative standstill, to my knowledge Series 13 is currently filming, I want to talk about what we could see in the show's 60th anniversary. I know it's at least roughly 2 years off now, but it's always fun to speculate. That's always my motto. Anyway, let's get one thing out of the way first. I do think the 60th anniversary will include a Christmas-like special, and much like Day of the Doctor, I think the 60th anniversary will be a multi-Doctor focused story, because that's always been the case on the big anniversaries. Old Doctors normally come back for that special. In the 5 Doctors, we had most of the 5 Doctors up to that point. Tom Baker didn't come back, so they used what footage that was filmed of Shada, which has been adapted into different stuff over the years. And then Day of the Doctor, of course, David Tennant, Matt Smith, John Hurt. I mean, that technically David Tennant just came back. John Hurt was introduced as a new, forgotten incarnation of the Doctor, but I'm not going to get into that now. In terms of what Doctors we could see, we have quite a few options, and we are genuinely spoiled for choice because we do have a lot of actors to choose from. So the first option, of course, is Christopher Eccleston, the 9th Doctor, and if you know the situation behind Eccleston in 2005, and he didn't particularly enjoy making his series, and it's kind of unfortunate, and because of that, he didn't return for Day of the Doctor. But here, we have a unique opportunity to see Eccleston return. So, if you don't keep up with any of the expanded media-related stuff, Eccleston is actually returning this year to Doctor Who, albeit in a Big Finish. If you know Big Finish and you've listened to some of their stuff, then you'll obviously know what it is. And I've been trying to see if I can listen to Big Finish. I do especially want to listen to some of the 10th Doctor stuff, because I hear it's really good. Anyway, another option we have is the 11th Doctor. Now, I think this is a popular choice because in my mind, Matt Smith is definitely as popular as David Tennant, at least in terms of actors that have played the Doctor. And seeing Smith return to Doctor Who would be very cool. And in terms of companions we could see Smith with, I think it would be pretty cool to see Amy and Rory come back. Now, obviously, Karen Gillan is very busy in Hollywood right now, and I'm not sure what Arthur Darvill's doing at the moment, but still, we still have a lot of unique opportunities. Assuming Karen Gillan isn't doing anything by the time the 60th anniversary comes around, this is a very unique opportunity. Now, in terms of why I wouldn't include Clara here, I think it's entirely possible we could see Peter Capaldi show up as the 12th Doctor, because technically, well, he was, on a technicality, introduced in the Day of the Doctor, because we saw a quick cameo from him as he was flying his TARDIS into Gallifrey to put it in the Pocket Universe. Anyway, another thing I just want to quickly touch on is why Smith and Capaldi have not returned for any Big Finish stuff. Now, we have had Big Finish stuff for the 11th and 12th Doctors, but Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi have not returned to voice their characters. But hopefully, we might get that at some point down the line. Okay, back to Doctors we could see in the special. I have the 8th Doctor on my list, because outside of the TV movie and Night of the Doctor, Paul McGann has not returned to the role, at least in live action. And yes, I am aware there's all the Big Finish stuff, where we've got loads of companions, and the Master and whatnot, but I think it'd be really cool to see Paul McGann appear in the 60th anniversary special. I think if we can get at least a couple of Doctors, preferably maybe 3 or 4, we can have the current Doctor, no, I'll get to that in a minute, we can have Paul McGann, we can have Matt Smith, we can have Eccleston. That will be a very solid lineup. And another thing I just want to quickly touch on is, I don't really understand why Stephen Moffat didn't get Paul McGann to appear in Day of the Doctor. I mean, don't get me wrong, John Hurt was amazing in Day of the Doctor, but I don't understand why Stephen Moffat went, well, if Christopher Eccleston's not going to come back, we could just get Paul McGann to come back and retcon him as the Doctor who fought in the Time War, which at this point a lot of people probably thought. Then again, a lot of people thought Eccleston was the Doctor that fought in the Time War. Anyway, moving on. After getting the Doctors, we need a new villain and a story for the special, and while yes, the Daleks are indeed a fair bet, I think seeing a different villain in the spotlight would be very good. and I think it would be cool to see Chris Chibnall adapt the Dark Dimension into the 60th anniversary special. For those of you who don't know what the Dark Dimension is, it was going to be the original 30th anniversary special for the show. It was a multi-Doctor story which would have included the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th Doctors fighting a plethora of classic villains, including the Daleks, Cybermen, Ice Warriors, the Yeti, and a villain made of chronal energy, and that villain I will get to later. So it was actually due to budget issues that the Dark Dimension never got made, and we got a documentary called 30 Years in the TARDIS, and Dimensions in Time, the quote-unquote unbeloved EastEnders crossover. I mean, obviously that isn't canon, because, well, it's EastEnders. A lot of EastEnders actors these days have actually appeared in Doctor Who, to the best of my knowledge. Anyway, in the Dark Dimension, the villain was meant to be a villain made up of chronal energy, and this villain in particular was going to be played by Rick Mayall, and because this special would have been made in the 1990s, that's actually a pretty good choice. But due to unfortunate circumstances today, in terms of what actor we could see, I mean, I would like to see, I think Himesh Patel could be a fair bet. So another thing we will have to deal with is whether we'll have a new Doctor by this point. Now, if you've been keeping up with Doctor Who related news recently, then you'll know that there are rumours of Jodie Whittaker leaving the show. And assuming those are true, we'll have a new Doctor and possibly a new Master to contend with. Now, if you've seen my fancast videos for the Doctor, the Master and the Companions, at the time of recording it's already out, it will be good to see a new Doctor. And a Master, we will see, though I kinda doubt it. Anyway, that was my video on the possible 60th anniversary for Doctor Who, and if you enjoyed the video then like and comment and also subscribe so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys soon. Take care everyone.